Hello, everyone. This is Aaron Yoon from iFlipInvest, and joining me today is Daryl Martin, Elite Futures Trader. Daryl is the lead trader who helped found apexinvesting.com, a trading community with over 30,000 traders in over 150 countries globally. His trading methods are known to be incredibly objective, duplicatable, and insightful. He is known for helping traders execute with precision for entries and exits, while helping traders remove analysis paralysis. I know I get that all the time. Mr. Martin has worked with retail traders, floor traders, and fund managers. He executes discretionary day trades, algorithm-based trades, follow me trades, and signals. Daryl, welcome.
Hey, thank you for having me on.
Could you tell us a little bit about how you got into trading?
I was working for a company, for Apollo Group, and I was one of their top performers, helping open offices in different places around the country. And they did there was this big Get Motivated seminar in Dallas. And they took all the top performers there. I mean, this was a while ago, like 20 years ago. And one of the guys presenting was presenting on trading and options. And from my family background, like I didn't know really much of anything about options or anything like that. And so I went down. I was one of those guys that went down and bought the course, right? And so I bought the course, brought it home, it sat on my shelf for a few months. Then I started getting my hands on everything I could. Courses and seminars and books. And finally found some good traders that I was able to really learn from. Some guys that, so that's sort of what got me into trading. What got me to be hooked on trading was found out we were going to have a baby girl and our first child. And I was like, I got to make more money. And so that's when I really, dug super deep into it and got into it. Because like I said, I was brand new. I didn't know anything and I didn't have anybody guiding me through this process. I started trading and about 60 days later, I quit my day job. So, because I was making more money trading than I was going to work.
Nothing motivates like having kids, right? Yes. I've heard that story so many times from other speakers in all kinds of fields, real estate, business, consulting. Children are a great motivator. But 60 days, that's crazy. What catapulted you from where you were at to that level where you're ready to leave your job?
Well, actually, I started with just $3,000, my wife's teacher retirement account, actually. So talk about risk capital and taking money out of her retirement account to be my, she didn't have much in there, but I was like, I'm ready to try this. Let's do this. And I've been working on it a long time. I was sim trading a long time. And again, I didn't have anybody guiding me. I didn't have an Apex Investing, to guide me through the process. But once I got there, I was ready to go and pulled the trigger and it took off.
So tell us a little bit about Apex itself. Apex seems to focus on futures. So can you tell us a little bit about what futures is in general for those of us that don't know, and why focus on futures?
Yeah, futures, I mean, there's commodities in futures. One of the easy ways to put it is a future is something if you drop on your foot. A commodity is something if you drop on your foot, it hurts. Okay. A barrel of oil,
nice.
Some gold, cotton, sugar, wheat, cows, all that fun stuff. But it's just a contract, just like a stock. It goes up and it goes down in price. The charts look the same. A big difference is you can trade them around the clock. You can trade them from like 6 p.m. to 5 p.m. the next day, Eastern time. So whether you work during the day or at night, you can trade them. Right. They have really high leverage. And so as long as you keep your size small, which is smart, right? Then you don't have to have an insane amount of capital to trade them.
Right.
Obviously, everything you trade with is risk capital. But, you can put up $500 and control $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
So a small move, like of just one small increment of moves, sort of like what we call a cent or is a tick in futures, like a tick on a clock. It's the smallest move you can have. Okay.
Right.
Instead of being 1 penny, it's $12.50. So
exactly.
You don't have to get a whole lot of movement to make a decent amount of money.
Right. And one of the things that people that are just getting started with day trading in the stock market anyway, is that pattern day trading rule, that $25,000 requirement in order to day trade stocks, which you don't face that in futures. You're
Exactly.
able.
There is no day trading pattern requirement. Like you don't have to have $25,000 minimum at all times in your account to open and close 3 trades within a week. We're all open and close 3 trades in 30 minutes.
Right.
So not only trade about 30 minutes to a couple hours a day. That's another thing when you have the leverage and everything else, and you trade well and you're patient. You don't really need to spend 8 hours a day. A lot of times people think trading is 8 hours a day in front of a computer. And I mean, I'm on the computer for anywhere from 30 minutes to, a long day is 3 hours.
So tell us a little bit more about that. That sounds so interesting. You're basically done working as a trader within the first hour or so, maybe 3 at the most.
But yeah, I'm done by 11 o'clock, and the rest of the day is, for other business stuff I do, other investment stuff I do. And then of course, my priority being with my family.
Give us a little bit of a sneak peek as to how you're able to do that, how you're able to just get in and out of the market and be done for the day. I'm assuming you're exiting your positions when you're done for the day. So give us a little bit of a sneak peek. Can you get into some detail about that? What are we going to see in Dallas when you talk about it?
Well, we have very defined strategies. They're literally very defined. They say, when this happens, you enter at this price. Mm-hmm. You have your risk management stop at this price, and you have your take profit at this price. And once I hit so much, either up or down for the day, because you have to have risk management and you have to have a profit goal and a stop goal. Okay. And it doesn't have to be big. One thing I've taught people is, if you can make $150, that's like 3 trades. Okay. And if you can do that consistently and just increase that from 1 to 7 contracts, then, you're talking about $250,000 a year in income.
Mm.
So, you literally need 3 trades making $50 a piece, and you don't increase the amount of time you trade. You don't increase the amount of trades you make. You just slowly increase your size. And I'm not talking about ridiculous sizes where you compound it to infinity and all that stuff. I literally I show a plan, and it literally the whole plan is based on just getting up to 7 contracts. And, that takes time. You got to do it right. You got to do it well. You got to put the time in and learn. But the nice thing is, we have the education there. We have the step-by-step there. We lay it out for you, A, B, C, D. And we have a live trade room where you can come in. You can ask questions. Traders are calling trades. So, you can follow along. Now you don't just follow the traders. You have to understand what they're talking about. Otherwise, the whole chart looks like the Matrix to you, And, but we have the videos that explain the charts. And if you've never seen a chart in your life, besides what you've seen on, the TV, we explain it. We have a whole, foundation section that walks through all different types of charts and what are futures, it spends an hour on it. What are futures and how do they work and all that.
If I'm a complete beginner, trader, and I've heard of futures, but I haven't really dabbled in it yet. Is your program a good fit for me?
Everybody comes in. We have all the education there. We do have one section at the bottom called, like I said, foundations. Mm-hmm. And that'll walk you through what are stocks. So if you don't even know what a stock is, you've heard of stocks, but you couldn't define it to somebody if they asked. We go through what are stocks, what is forex, what are futures, what are options. We talk about the charts, and then we say, here's how you set up a platform, and here is how you set up a chart on a platform, and here is how you enter a trade. Here's how you exit a trade. Mm-hmm. Here's what everything on the chart means. And then, once you get through all of that, and by the way, you get to do all this in a paper account, which is a fake money account. Okay. Right. So you don't have to start off with real money at all. Mm. Obviously, everybody wants to get to real money because everybody wants to make money, but you don't want to lose money, right?
Right.
So, and there's, of course, always that risk, but you want to start off with just, the market is not a kind teacher if you just start going in with your money and you don't know what you're doing.
Absolutely.
So it's a very expensive teacher. So, we encourage people to start off with a simulation account, and we teach you how to get that free simulation account and walk you through everything step by step. Now, some people are going to jump right past that. And then now we'll have to teach them what's on our charts, which we have all that laid out step by step. And there's a couple hours long of what's on the chart and defining everything, because everything we've made is custom. So, but
does that mean, am I to understand you have your own custom indicators and stuff that is proprietary to Apex? Is that what that means?
Yeah, the bars, the indicators, the order flow, we combine what's called order flow and footprints. And what really drives the market is orders. Everybody's like supply, demand, this, that, all that, it really comes down to orders. The market's going to go to where the orders are. Just like if you're at an auction, it's going to go up, but it's going to come down based on what people are bidding, right? And you call that supply demand, but it's really orders. It's where are people willing to place orders. And so what we've done is we've taken all these complicated numbers, I mean, like insane thousands of numbers, and we put them in, we've taken an algorithm, which is just a fancy word for formula, okay? Mm-hmm. And we've taken a formula and said, okay, when this combination happens, it's important. And then we make it where it just prints a simple thing on the screen, like a yellow box. So this yellow box means that, this is happening, or this, white line means that this is happening. And so we take all we've taken the complicated part, because what I wanted to do is I wanted to make it very duplicatable. And I knew there was no way for everybody to calculate all those numbers and do all that stuff and do it fast and without years of practice. Mm-hmm. And so I worked for a long time with a large team of traders at Apex on refining the process and making it simpler, making it easier, and making it very duplicatable.
Wow, it really sounds like you've really shortened the learning curve. You've taken what's very complicated mathematically and created a visual aid to make it easier to deal with. God, that's so cool. You also talk about one of the smartest ways to trade is to trade other people's money. You actually take that to the next level and actually offer traders an opportunity to do that. Tell us a little bit about your funding program.
Well, first off, I think the psychological advantage is huge, because we all want to make money, but we're all afraid of losing the rent, the mortgage, the savings, the retirement, the kid's college account, right? And so what we've done is we put together a program. It's a very simple evaluation program, and we'll explain it at the event. But it's really, really simple. And but again, we have the education to go along with it, right? So we can start out and learn. But you go through this evaluation, and basically you can show that you can make so much without losing so much, okay? Over a period of a couple weeks or more. Now you have, if it takes you 6 months, that's fine. But we require at least a couple weeks, so 2 weeks. And if you're able to do that, then we fund you. And we pay out 90% of the profits, and we take on all the risk.
My favorite thing about what you just said is that even if it takes 6 months, it's fine. Because a lot of these other programs that offer you an evaluation or a challenge to pass, they put a max number of days. So they're like, oh, you have to hit a certain profit in 30 days or so. Usually it's 30 days. And
yeah, they would do like 2 weeks, 30 days. I see one that's a week.
Oh, God.
Or some of them will make you go through a whole, like several different evaluations. Like, you passed around one, now you got to pass around two, now you got to pass around,
Right.
And we just have one evaluation, one simple process, whether it takes you, a couple weeks or whether it takes you, months is fine. We just want you to, be consistent. And we sort of help teach you ways to do that. And now you can also, you don't have to use our methods. That's one big thing about the funding company. We're looking for variety. So I mean, why would we put this money out there? We can just trade our own method anyway, right? So we're looking for variety. We're looking for other traders, other systems. So you don't have to trade a certain way. We're happy with, we're ecstatic about other different trading systems. And a lot of people go, well, why would you do that? How can you afford to do that? Where does that come from? And it's just like, well, I mean, traders are always looking for signals to follow, right? Or they're looking for a trade room to follow, or a newsletter to follow, or something like that. Well, we're doing the same thing. We're looking for good traders to follow. And if you could find somebody who provided really good signals or good, newsletter, would you pay them a percentage of profits, like say 10%? Well, if it worked, yeah, So, because you're putting your money on the line, we're putting our money on the line. So we're just looking for people that we'd like to follow, and then we can copy them. So not only can we make 10%, but if they're doing really well, we may go in and copy them in another account completely. So we could double their profits and make money over there. So that's where we're looking to make our money on our traders that are doing well. And we disclose all that up front. Right. And but we're looking for good traders to follow, good traders to potentially copy, if the liquidity is there, which allows us to do it. And it's been an amazing program. I mean, just last month we had 4,000 traders pass the evaluation. And I mean, that's like 10 times what any other funding company has done, like in a month. So, but yeah, I mean, it's just exploded and people are loving the program and it's going really well.
I'm familiar with the prop firm space.
Yeah.
And those are some incredible numbers. And I think that it goes hand in hand with how you make it trader friendly. Whereas I think a lot of other prop firms, like I said, they have that limit of 30 days, multiple evaluations, all these different ways you can fail. And
oh yeah, they come up with
all that kind of stuff,
random rules and everything else. Yeah.
Random rules. And some even they don't admit this up front, but some have been discovered to be taking the opposite side of your trades. Yeah. So they're literally trading against you. Like, what the hell is that, right?
Right. Yeah, it's not exactly looking for profitable traders. Yeah,
exactly. So I love everything that you're saying. It's of the highest integrity. I love all of that. But there's also people that come in with a misconception of what futures trading is or what prop firm trading is. What are some of the biggest mistakes and misconceptions that they have?
I think a mistake would be to consider it as gambling, to not have good risk management. Like they think it's all about the system. Okay. And it's like, oh, if I just get the right system, I'll always win. It's like, no, you're going to lose a lot of trades. It's not about being right. It's about trading well, And trading well is taking your losses when you're supposed to take them, taking your profits when you're supposed to take them. Stop trading for the day when you're supposed to stop trading for the day. When you're up, stop. You don't just keep going. A gambler at a casino, when they're making money, just keeps going and going and going. And when they're up, and they give it all back, right?
Right.
And so you got to learn, you have to learn good money management. Another misconception is, that if I get it down and that, it's all about, again, it comes back to all about the system. We're all about being right. And a lot of people don't understand that psychology is about 80% of this, and that you're going to discover, and we have a whole course on trading psychology and mind mastery. And I've worked with literally trading psychologists, for traders who became psychologists that work with traders only. And I work with some of the best in the field. And you have to learn how to, manage your own emotions, your own, if I'm having a bad day, if I'm not feeling well, if, me and the wife aren't getting along, which fortunately I'm very blessed, is very rare. It's not time for me to go in and try to take it out and figure it out on the trading computer. That's time for me to walk away that day and get everything, balanced back out. Right. Sometimes they see it and, as this is what's going to save me. So if I just keep doing it and pushing and I have the will to be right, I'm going to be right. It's like, you have to have the discipline. You have to have the patience. You have to have a plan. You have to have money management. You have to have the mindset. So there's a lot more to trading than just charts and pushing buttons. And I think that, that's the misconception people have. But again, we're here to help teach you all that.
You mentioned that 80% of this is psychology. So it's not about anything that you're learning on the screen, any kind of education. It's all like up here, right? And
well, I mean, you can have the best system in the world, but if your mind's messed up, you're going to break it. I mean, yeah. And I mean, think about it. I mean, a sports player. Okay, you can be the best quarterback in the world, right? But if they're psychologically not where they need to be for that game, they're going to miss passes. They're going to make mistakes constantly. It doesn't matter how good of a quarterback, Tom Brady, love him, hate him, whatever, if his mind's not in the right place, he's going to have a bad game.
Right.
And he obviously has proven that he is a very competent quarterback,
Yeah.
So, I mean, without a doubt. So you can be a very competent trader, but if your mind's not in the right place, that's where traders mess up. They have their fear. They don't want to take a loss, so they hold on to a trade. Or they want to make a whole lot of money, so they don't close a trade and profit, and they give it all back. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I teach like in the Mind Mastery course is winners are never satisfying. It sounds really funny, but I could have held on to it and made more, or I should have closed it earlier because it came back. It's like you barely ever hit that sweet spot where it was right at the top and then it turned around on you and you got out, like that. I usually don't get right out at the top and the bottom. And that's just more of a lucky thing when that happens. And so like winners are almost never satisfying. You could have made more, or you should have closed earlier and you would have made more. And so you have to learn to be like, it's not about that. It's about trading well. And what did the chart tell me? And what do my rules tell me? And I have to learn to trade well, not trade to make money. It's like, going back to, not trying to harp on football, but if they focus just on winning the game or winning the Super Bowl, they're not going to do very good at their plays.
Right.
They got to focus at one play at a time, literally, every single play. That adds up to yards, that adds up to touchdowns, that adds up to games, which adds up to playoffs, which adds up to Super Bowls. But you can't focus on the Super Bowl. You can't even focus on the game. You got to focus on the play.
Right. The present moment.
Exactly. If they can bring it right down to that play, that moment, their mindset in the right place, and execute the way they're supposed to execute, then they have a lot better probability of success.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so glad you brought all that up, because I think so much of what we see on social media and the internet just focuses on the system, and it really
attracts my system and you'll be rich tomorrow.
Yeah. If you can draw these two lines, you'll be rich. But of course we know with anyone with any experience and who has gotten humbled by the market, and I think we've all experienced that.
Yeah, you haven't traded very long. Yeah. And that's where the funding comes in. It comes in to make that humbling a lot less painful.
Right.
Because if you mess up on an evaluation, you actually just pay a small fee to reset it. And you can try again. And you can do that as many times as you need to. So some people do it once, some people do it dozens of times, So it just depends upon where the trader is and how they're doing and the lessons they learn. So.
And even if you do it dozens of times, it's a cheaper, more efficient way than blowing your account dozens of times.
Oh, exactly. I mean, like on a $50,000 account, we let you lose up to $2,500.
Yeah.
Okay. And I mean, that costs like, $80. All right. To reset that. So you can get another $2,500 for $80. That's a lot cheaper than losing $2,500 over and over and over again. And then eventually you're out of all your money,
Absolutely. It's one of the most efficient ways to overcome the learning curve when you're ready to trade real money, of course. What can we expect to see in Dallas that I maybe didn't cover here?
We're gonna bring up charts. We're gonna show you how it works and put it together. We may have some recorded trading sessions, or at least some reviews that we do of charts and what we do. Obviously, we're not going to be able to cover everything in 30 minutes or an hour that we're going to be talking. But I just want to sort of show people what we do, how we do it, the pieces that we put together. They'll meet some of our team, that's going to be there, and of course I'll be there. So I'll be there to ask questions of. They can ask me direct questions, and I'm always very accessible. And so I'll be there to help answer any questions they got about whether they're experienced traders or whether they're brand new and they just want to get into trading, and, like I said, what got me into trading was wanting to make more money for my kids. And actually what got me into the education side of business was I actually started recording when my daughter was born. I started recording everything I had learned for her in case something happened to me. And one of my friends started asking me for the videos to send to him. And he's like, this is great material, and he's like, we should make this into a website. And I'm like, who's going to want to listen to me? This is just for me, for my kid. He's like, Daryl, you're doing it. You quit your day job. Like, people want to see people who are actually doing it. And he bugged me for like 2 years. And finally I was like, all right, put together a website. And so he put together, a basic website, and then it just took off. And now there's, 30,000 plus members in, 150 countries. And sort of went from there, and it just came out of wanting to make the process duplicatable for my own kids, and that turned into something that's helped out people all across the globe.
That's an amazing story. Thank you for sharing that. Everyone, for those of you that may be brand new to futures trading, if you're interested, we would love to have you in Dallas. You'd be in great hands with Daryl Martin and Apex Investing. We have a ton of other great speakers lined up in case you're into something else. You don't only have to be into futures. We hope to see you there October 20 to 21 in Dallas, Texas. Register now. Thank you.
It's an original copy of Think and Grow Rich.
Wow.
Original print edition. And from 1937.
Huge. Wow.
And it is signed by Napoleon Hill. So wish you best wishes to some guy named Leo Plavakas or something.
Oh, it's not even a reprint. It's like one of the originals.
That was one of the originals.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Now
so
that's a
it's-
collector's item right there. That's cool.
See, 1937. Don't know if you can see the date.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then there's him signing it.
Huh.
That is cool.
That's a pretty cool birthday present.
That's a very cool birthday present.
This book has made me millions upon millions of dollars.